Guild Wars 3 just might have been announced. And we're gonna talk about the possibilities of what it means, if it's actually true, and all that it entails. Subscribe to channel for more content like this. Go to Ko-Fi if you want to support me, and let's get into it. So, I'm just gonna put my, just my character for now. There's a lot of news, okay? Apparently, there was like this meeting from NCSoft, the people that essentially own ArenaNet, and of course Guild Wars 2. And they talked about, and let me quote on them, I'll link all the all the articles in the description. They're all in Korean, so we have to translate them with DeepL, this little translate thing. You can use it, it's very good. I'll link, the post in the description. But they essentially said, they talked about, and I'm gonna quote here, they said, where is it? They said, the Guild Wars 3 project is under review and development has not been finalized. And that NCSoft is currently focusing on developing Guild Wars 3 by integrating several affiliated studios. So they're essentially merging certain studios to work on what would be Guild Wars 3. ArenaNet has a meaningful IP called Guild Wars, and it went through Guild Wars 2 and now is making Guild Wars 3. I was talking about this with some gamers that know about the actual business of game development. And they essentially talked about the fact that it seems like pre-production of Guild Wars 3 is over. The research and development part, review and development part is not been finalized, but it seems to have been funded. So it definitely seems like it's a it's a big deal, right? Now, the question is, would they be doing this? And also, what does it mean, right? First, we know for a long time, ArenaNet careers. Let me just go here. That ArenaNet has been doing an unannounced project. And I'm thinking that this unannounced project that they've been working on is this indeed Guild Wars 3, right? Because it's been for a long time. We know it's from an established IP. We know that it's an MMO, that because they were hiring for people who were, had MMO experience. We knew that it was going to console. We knew it was not only a mobile game. It could have been a PC game and a mobile game, but it was a thing that they were doing, right? Now the question is does this mean that Guild Wars 2 is dead? Maybe, not really. We don't really know. There's a few possibilities of what this could mean, what this Guild Wars 3 could be. It could be a mobile game that is also on PC, because NCSoft loves doing this, right? They love doing Lineage 1 and 2. Right, let's make another one just for mobile and call it something else. It could definitely be that. It's just that it's on PC and on mobile. It could be a complete desperation move out of NCSoft because they're losing a lot of money. I don't know. I have another video about this actually, about how NCSoft, they're not really doing very well. And it could be just be like, guys, we need some excitement about our company. They talked about in the article actually a lot about restructuring and trying to assure investors that the company is worth investing in. So they definitely seem a bit desperate right now. Now, that being said, it does seem like it is the unannounced project, and it always has been. So this must have been coming for a long time. And the thing is, Guild Wars 2 is one of the only profitable games right now. Well, not profitable, but the only games that are growing in NCSoft. So they definitely seem to want to invest more on it. It could also be a Guild Wars 2 port to Unreal Engine 5, as we know that the unannounced project is in Unreal Engine 5. This would be honestly pretty good, as it would not, make everyone just quit Guild Wars 2 instantly. And of course, we also have the other possibility, which is essentially a completely new game, a completely new MMO that is just after Guild Wars 3, after Guild Wars 2, and it just completely invalidates everything from Guild Wars 2, which in my opinion would be the worst scenario here. I think, honestly, and I'm also pretty sad because I'm pretty sure that Arena didn't want this to be revealed now, especially because they're not even that far into development, and because Guild Wars 2 is a big game and a lot of people play it, it's kind of... it doesn't make anyone want to invest time on it right now. And, putting this especially in the middle of, the weekend before Eastern, I mean, I wouldn't like being the PR, department in ArenaNet right now, because it must be pretty stressful, okay? It must be pretty bad. Now, let's talk about what the possibilities are and what would be the best one, right? Mobile Guild Wars 3 honestly wouldn't be that bad. It wouldn't really affect Guild Wars 2, and we would have a game that probably makes a lot of money for ArenaNet and for NCSoft, and they would probably put more effort, as well, into putting, into making the IP bigger, and of course that means Guild Wars 2. That being said, I think, I don't know, I'm not sure if that's really what they're going for. It was heavily implied in the career, what's the word? In the career, what's the word? In the hirings, that it wasn't really a mobile game. It was mainly a PC and console game. So I doubt that is the case. The other option, of course, is Guild Wars 3 as a completely new MMO. But personally, I'm not sure if I like that, because, well, if they do that, it just completely invalidates everything out of Guild Wars 2. Most people are gonna quit because they're gonna be like, well, what's the point in playing this old game if we're gonna get a new one in a few years? It just doesn't make a lot of sense, right? I don't see it, right? And I think it's it's a very dangerous thing to do. Also, yeah, they could make it so maybe you get a lot of the rewards that you get in Guild Wars 2 back in Guild Wars 3. Like, all your legendaries just go to Guild Wars 3. They could just do that. So, you are incentivized to do it, to play the game and keep playing it. But a lot of the content will be dead, and a lot of people are gonna just stop playing because they're gonna wait, right? And also, they're not gonna get any money, right? Guild Wars 2 is very successful right now. There's a lot of people playing it. It's honestly growing, and revealing something like this just makes all that growth just disappear, and them not really having a new, an actual source of income, right? So honestly, I hope that this is not the case. The perfect, in my opinion, scenario would be that this is Guild Wars 2.5. So essentially just a port from Guild Wars 2 to Unreal Engine 5, and it's just the same game, just ported over. And that's what they call Guild Wars 3. It gives us the excitement from all the MMO community to want to come back and play the game. New graphics, a lot of fixes to bugs, and of course, the better development tools. So they can actually develop the game a bit faster and with less problems, as this engine is very, very old. That'll be the perfect way of having your cake and eating it too. Now, which one's gonna happen? We don't really know, right? And I think it's I really hope that it's not Guild Wars 3 and it's just that's it, right? I really don't. I really hope it's not, because also the difference between Guild Wars 2 and Guild Wars 3 in terms of content would be insane. Guild Wars 2 has so many years of development, and just putting this in a new game that probably won't have that much, and comparing to Guild Wars 2, it's just gonna feel bad. Who's gonna want to play that? MMOs are famous for releasing in a kind of bad and not having enough content on release. So what would be the point of killing your own game and releasing a new one that has less things? I get it. You want to look at the future. You want a game that is new with a new engine that you can develop for years and years and years. But if you're gonna do that, I would just invest in Guild Wars 2, not the other way around. But that is honestly the biggest thing. That's all the information we have right now. If we have more, I'll definitely talk about it more. But yeah, that's the case. Now, I think a very important thing here is that ArenaNet needs to talk about this. We just cannot. Yeah, they cannot just stay silent. If they stay silent, everyone's gonna honestly quit the game. Even if Guild Wars 3 is gonna release and it's gonna invalidate Guild Wars 2, they need to say, guys, okay, yes, but look, the legendaries, they're gonna come, okay? So just focus on Guild Wars 2, getting your legendaries, so they move over to the next game eventually in 5 to 6 years, and you guys are gonna be happy. Pog. Even if they haven't developed that, even if it wasn't their plan, fuck it, just say it. Just say it so people can continue playing the game and be happy, because people love Guild Wars 2, right? And I understand Guild Wars 1 is still playable and all this other stuff, but people want a game that continuously it continues to be developed. They don't want a game that just stays there forever, right? And the expansions, have been a bit smaller in scope lately. Secret of the Obscure has a lot of stuff, but also it's not, as impressive as something like EOD or whatever, right? So, with that in mind, people are just going to be like, oh, the reason why the expansion is not as good is because they're putting all the effort in the new game instead. Why would I invest myself into this game? I'm just going to go play something else. And that is not good for the company. If it is Guild Wars 2.5 and they're just moving to a new engine, they should just say so, honestly, at this point. The cat is out of the bag. It wasn't their prerogative. NCSoft said it instead, but it's time, right? They just have no choice. In some ways, I'm kind of happy because now I can actually make a informed decision on what is happening. But in some other ways, I'm kind of sad because, well, I might not like the actual future. But we'll see. We'll see. I'll keep doing videos about this, of course, and we'll see what the conclusion of all of this is. Also, it is worth mentioning that we already have 2 expansions, announced of Guild Wars 2, right? So even if Guild Wars 3 is a thing and will replace Guild Wars 2, it will not be in the future. So you can still keep playing the game, having fun, and it probably won't affect you too much. And anything that happens, I'll tell you. As soon as we know any news of it, I'll make another video. We'll talk about it. Go to my twitch.tv/with us in order to, do the investigation live. Or go to my Ko-Fi if you want to support me as well. And to my Discord if you want to talk about this stuff as well, if I'm offline. Thank you very much for watching, guys. See you guys around. Love you all. Bye-bye.